Today, a new take on the Lance Armstrong scandal. A panel discussion on the shootings of Newtown, Connecticut 2 months ago, and a review of an art workshop celebrating Valentine's Day. All these stories and more on the Brock Commons Network. Hello, I'm Danny Roberts for the Brock Commons Network. A professor at Longwood University presented to students and faculty why Lance Armstrong did not cheat. Jake Smith has more on the story.
With the recent coverage of Lance Armstrong's doping scandal, we've seen him become synonymous with the word cheat. Since the scandal presented itself a few months ago, we've seen Lance Armstrong stripped of all of his world titles and become banned from cycling events around the world. But in a fresh new take, Longwood professor and avid cyclist Dr. Eric Moore of the Psychology Department presented his research regarding Armstrong's actions at the weekly Black Belt Talks this past Monday. Moore's take on the situation was that while Armstrong did partake in actions of illegal doping, he did not necessarily cheat. During his presentation, Moore defined cheating as gaining an unfair advantage on your opponent or foe, but explained that Armstrong did no such thing. It was simply part of a sport-wide consensus.
The dopers are way ahead of the attempts to control it, the controllers. And so the interesting thing is you'll hear people today saying, oh, the people who are racing in the sport right now, they'll say, nobody's cheating. Like Levi Leipheimer said, he thinks that less than 5% are doping at this point. But maybe that's true. But it sounds exactly like what people said in '98 when cheating was rampant.
Dr. Moore also had this to say in regards to controlling the doping situation.
They have to have controls that can't be beat. You know, they have to be able to have tests so that makes it far too prohibitive for the cyclist to cheat.
For BCN News, this is Jake Smith.
The tragic shootings at Sandy Hook Elementary School left a mark on Newtown, Connecticut 2 months ago. The news of the tragedy sparked conversations nationwide, one of those places being Longwood University. Rebecca Beard has the latest on this story.
Longwood University hosted a Sandy Hook reaction panel to discuss how tragedies like Sandy Hook can be prevented in the future. The panel was made up of university professors who shared both their personal and professional opinions on the story.
What CBS News is calling it.
We all remember the headlines.
Shooting at an elementary school.
The number of dead is going to go into the double digits.
But do we really understand how or why it happened? Paige Wrights, social activist chair of the Student Diversity and Inclusion Council at Longwood, felt that students and professors had the right to know.
I felt that the students deserved somewhere that they could come together and ask questions and get some form of answers and leave with the complexity of the situation.
University professors from all fields were invited to share their professional views on the tragedy, incorporating in factors such as psychology, social work, masculinity, and the media. However, one panelist, English professor Dr. David McGill, had a more personal connection to the shooting, as a family friend's child attended Sandy Hook at the time of the massacre.
We're in Sandy Hook, Katie's homesick. Great relief, but also just imagining what could have happened.
Needless to say, working in an educational facility, McGill was shaken.
Just that thought now, it's changed the way I think about school and how I think about that community, because I'm worried more about safety in a way that I wasn't before.
The audience participated in a question and answer session immediately after the discussion. Questions ranged from suicide and homicide statistics in the U.S. to international tragedies that are relatable to the elementary school shooting. University senior Katie Beals commended students for pulling together to discuss such a pressing issue.
I think the most moving thing was just being able to all get together and discuss the different aspects of the Sandy Hook tragedy.
Longwood hopes that students and faculty walk away from this event better understanding the roots of the Sandy Hook massacre. From Brock Commons Network, this is Rebecca Beard.
Love is in the air, and last Saturday, the Longwood Center for the Visual Arts hosted their annual program, Art for Your Heart's Content. Reporter Emily Beal gave us the scoop on this story.
The Longwood Center for the Visual Arts hosted their annual Valentine's Day Family Workshop Saturday. The family workshops offer an opportunity for families in the Farmville community to come out for a few hours of food, fun, and family togetherness.
We just wanted to do something to offer a free community program for families to come by and have a chance to make artwork together and just, have a good time.
The LCVA set up various Valentine's-themed activities which allowed children and their guardians to interact in a fun and creative way. Some of the activities included creating your own Valentine's card, making styrofoam flowers, storytelling, and face painting. Volunteers from Longwood University and the Farmville community were on hand to help with the event.
This is just another opportunity for me to get out there, and I love hanging out with like brothers and doing some community service. So.
The Valentine's event is just one of 3 holiday-themed workshops put on by the LCVA throughout the year.
Well, this is part of an annual series of free family workshops we do. I think this is maybe the 12th year we've done our Valentine's workshop. And we do Dia de los Muertos, a Winter Wonderland, and then our Valentine's workshop.
The event appears to be a hit for both kids and adults.
I just thought this would be an excellent event to help kids, explore their artistic abilities and just have fun.
For more information about upcoming LCVA events, check out their website.
Now on to your local weather. Today will be a sunny day with a high of 56 and a low of 33 with a 0% chance of precipitation. Tomorrow will be a partly cloudy day with a high of 59 and a low of 32 with a 10% chance of precipitation. Tune in next week for another broadcast of the Brock Commons Network. Happy Valentine's Day and see you next week.